Very warm welcome to you all. Welcome again from the Pocket Power Room. And that's at theme because, of course, on Sunday we return to the winter course for the Pocket Power Stakes, a Grade 3 event. Really looking forward to the action. But before I talk about the 10 race card and tell you what I think of the card, just a quick reminder to like, subscribe and follow us on all our social media platforms. Follow us on Cape Racing, make some suggestions to us and tell us what you think, who we can approach, what we can talk about and some of the material and content that you would like to see. And before I get into the 10 race card, I'd also just like to remind you, and this is actually a true story, I've had a few friends over the last few weeks come and join us here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and they've raced in the Racing Pavilion. So it's all good and well. 1881, 11 out of 10. Pocket Power Room, 11 out of 10. But the Racing Pavilion, for those that have friends, family, want to come and enjoy a nice day out in the sunshine, hopefully the sunshine on Sunday, Racing Pavilion is a great place to come and do it. Come buy a couple of drinks, get a nice meal, and let your kids and your family enjoy all the smells and the sounds of the horses and the jockeys as they come past. Right, housekeeping aside, let's get into this 10 race program, starting off with race number 1 at 11:45. It's the Hollywoodbets Kenilworth welcomes you maiden juvenile plate for fillies, and they go 1,000 meters. It's so interesting because in this race we have Bella Vista, number 1, out of the great mare Bella Bella. Down the page, we got number 5, Alex Miller, who cost 250,000 Rand. If she was a year younger and went through the National Yearling Sale, she might have cost 1.25 million Rand. And we've got some very well-bred individuals as well. 7 Champagne Kisses is absolute main chance royalty. And we've also got the well-performed mare Witchcraft, producing number 14 Worldcraft in race number 1. It's not part of the exotics. My recommendation here is have a look at Perfectly Placed, see what the trainers have to say about the first timers and perhaps get a little bit of a gauge from there. But what I saw on debut and what I heard on debut and what the betting move suggested on debut, number 12 Ship and Darney could be the one that they all need to beat. The daughter of one world, Corne Orfa takes a ride for a very informed Andre Nel Platinum racing operation. The debut may have looked a little bit on the flat side, getting well beaten by Symphony and White, but with that said, I like what I saw in the parade ring. It's not the Null way to ready them up first time out, and I think there's any amount of improvement to come. Yes, she was beaten by number 14 Worldcraft on that occasion, but I would suggest an each way play on number 12 Ship and Darney. Just keep it open-ended though for the first timers because there could be something to come from number 2 Rockapina. She makes appeal, as does number 5 Alex Miller, as does number 7 Champagne Kiss. Even number 9 Exquisite is a well-bred first timer, so they could all be interesting in the opener at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on this Sunday. Right, let's now move on to race number 2. This is the first leg of the bipod off at 12:15. The Cape Racing Sales maiden plate. They go 1,100 meters in the second race on the card. Bipod starts here. What I find interesting about this race is that there's obviously a bit of form to work with, but not too many with form. So maybe that simplifies the matter here in race number 2. The horse they all need to beat is number 3, the US of A, who for me was just beaten by Richard Ferree Excellence last time. Elder Demare for me did absolutely nothing wrong when the US of A ran second behind Surge of Power. His hard luck stories have been documented throughout the summer and also the early parts of autumn when things didn't go according to plan. He was settled out early, he took the bit and absolutely moved away and just got found wanting over the closing stages. That happened more than once, but last time Aldo rode a great race on him, but Richard Ferree just had more to come on Surge of Power. So he just looks like the next horse off the conveyor belt. There's number 3, the US of A. He's overdue, and I think that he's the one that they all need to beat. But dangers, obviously number 8, Einstein, carries a similar type of profile to the US of A in that he's banging at the door, probably got every chance of being able to get the job done sooner rather than later. He's found, in my book, slightly weaker opposition along the way to get the job done, but not quite being disgraced. So there's got to be a win soon, number 8, Einstein. And then for me, number 6, Solar Trip is open to any amount of improvement. I'll put him into the boxed exacta, number 6, Solar Trip, the son of Quirari. Genetically and physically, he looked like a horse that may have just needed that first run. And I think he can build with that run under the belt. He's probably going to be the most handsome horse in the race on the way down to the start. Obviously, not having seen the well-bred first time, number 7, Boundless Energy, who you've got to watch the market on. Likewise, number 1, Powerful, and 4, Tripping Thunder. Watch the market, listen to the comments about those horses. But I like what I saw from Solar Trip first time out, and it certainly wasn't a bad debut effort when you consider he just looked bulky, looked big in the parade ring, and should come on with that run under the belt just a few weeks later. So that's the start of the bipod, and 3, my top choice, with 6 and 8 potentially the dangers if the first timers don't have too much going for them. Let's now move on to race number 3, the first leg of the Place Accumulator, which gets underway at 10 to 1. This is the Taking the Reins Class 4 fillies and mares over 1,600 metres. And I'm going to recommend box swingers here, numbers 1 and 7, Glee Club and Ice Rain. This is why Glee Club not won in, 9 months. Richard Free takes a ride for Greg Enyon. That's a theme that we don't really want to revisit from Tuesday because things didn't quite go according to plan for the combination, but they're likely to bounce back here, if not winning with number 1 Glee Club going very close. Ran 5th behind Call Me Getrix last time. Call Me Getrix ran in a grade or 2 higher on Tuesday. Ran nicely as well, running into the money, running 2nd. So number 1 Glee Club out of draw 1. There's a lot in her favour. Stepping up to 1,600 metres for the 2nd time in her life, but being by the United States out of a Fort Wood mare, that should be no obstacle at all. I think she's now ready for it. And then number 7 on the card, Ice Rain, the informed combo of Null, Platinum Racing and Cornet Orfer got to have every chance. She's seeking a hat-trick. It took her 9 runs to win her maiden, but she's gone bang, bang. And in that space of time, the handicapper has not been too harsh on her, not by the looks of things. Comes out of the last run with a £6 penalty, having beaten Hampstead Heath. But I think she won with quite a bit in hand, did Ice Rain, making good ground from the back of the field. Just a reminder that we're back on the winter course, so she has about 200 metres shorter to turn it on. That could be an Achilles heel, but I like to believe that she will at least get into the first 3, number 7, Ice Rain, who holds number 3, Enchanting Choice. Am I going to give Enchanting Choice another chance? Absolutely yes. Would not surprise me if she were to win, but just purely on collateral form, she might have her work to do, her work cut out rather, with number 7, Ice Rain in the opening leg of the Place Accumulator. On we go now to race number 4, the first leg of the Pick 6, the Cape Turf Club maiden plate over 1,400 metres. Tricky race this, and when I say tricky, I mean the horses in form are all got awkward draws. I think the horses drawn towards the paints have got a little bit to do. Maybe number 4, Grippen, is open to some improvement, but I've left them out of the Pick 6, expecting him to perhaps run to the first 5 and take a mistake check for the first time in his life. But this is what I've done in the opening leg of the Pick 6, and to choose a first choice is easier said than done. 7, Mr. Belvedere, on the run to Prince of Tibet last time, must have a good shout. The Son of Ideal World is overdue. For me, Vaughan Marshall, the most informed trainer in Cape Town at the moment. Ashton Aries takes a ride. They're firing at the moment. So number 7, Mr. Belvedere, definite tick in the box. Likewise, number 8, Monkey Puzzle, got a length and a half to turn around with number 7, Mr. Belvedere, but I think that the runs have probably done him a world of good, so put him into the play. He holds number 10, Cliff Swallow, which is interesting. Can Cliff Swallow go 1,400 metres? That's a little bit of a debate that we've been having back in the Racing Ops office. Don't know about him because he went to the front last time and just folded over the closing stages. If he does get the trip, he could be dangerous, but I'm one of those not convinced. Number 11, Champanel, 12th start. He is what he is, but he's banging at the door. Lucinda Woodruff, Grant Finicak team up for the Hollywood Syndicate. Chance, not one you can get carried away with. 12, Sound of the Sea. This could default to the top selection. Richard Faree's on board. The draw's obviously no good, but last time he was outrun over the closing stages by All Out for 6. It wasn't a bad run by any stretch of the imagination. It's the first time that he takes on older company, but remember, older maidens are maidens for a reason, so at least he's upwardly mobile. So number 12, Sound of the Sea, if he can get over from a deep draw, will be a horse to watch quite closely. And then number 13, Land of the Rising Sun, the son of Dan on Platina. Justin State's confident of a nice run from the horse. He bemoans the fact that he's got the worst of the draw, and why wouldn't he? The debut behind Kai Boy, a trifle disappointing when there was a bit of talk for him in the future. It's definitely a long-term goal with number 13, Land of the Rising Sun. Gets the services of JP Van der Maver again. Expect better from the son of Dan on Platina. Very, very interesting runner indeed, number 13, Land of the Rising Sun. Don't be put off too much by the first run. So in the Pick 6, first leg of the Pick 6, going 7, 8, 11, 12 and 13. Then on to race number 5, the start of jackpot number 1. This is the Cape Turf Club Syndicate's Cape B Stakes. They go 1,400 metres and narrow this down to 2 runners. I'm really keen on the chances of number 7, Solomon Seal. Sean Veal takes the ride for Eric Sands. Eric's having a winner a race meeting. I think he's got a pretty strong hand here on Sunday. Solomon Seal last time over 1,600 metres for me just didn't quite get home. I think he ultimately reached 1,600 metres, but coming back to 1,400 metres, this seems a sweet spot. He was just outrun late by Tyrion Lannister. He's got the advantage of the weights with Tyrion Lannister, and although Tyrion Lannister is also a good horse, a gutsy horse, a horse with full of fight and full of courage, I think that Solomon Seal will have his number this time around. Sean Veal gets a tune out of him as well, and for me, that run to San Pedro, especially after San Pedro's good run here just over a week ago, stands him in good stead. Dangers, number 1, Inamarare, got to be respected on a win not so long ago. He's got a lot of the field held. Draw 1's going to be a big advantage. Richard Ferre's on board. I put him in as backup in the pick 6, number 1, Inamarare. And then others, Tyrion Lannister, just for his pure heart, courage and determination. Got to be respected, although I think Solomon Seal will finish in front of him. If it rains, and the forecast is not for rain, Margolly Molly becomes a huge runner, and then a horse like number 8, Future Turn, also nice value for trifectas and quartets, as is number 10 on the card, Royal Watch. So that's how I see race number 5 on the card. Solomon Seal, top choice for me. If not him, then heaps of horses to potentially put on the pressure. But I've got to go in with what I saw, Solomon Seal, top choice in race number 5. Then moving on to race number 6 on the card. This is the perfectly placed Class 5, and they go 1,800 metres. It's Class 5 for a reason. I'm going to recommend places here. Number 4, African Torrent. Aldo de Mea back on board for Adam Marcus and the Gulf Racing Club Syndicate for a whole lot of familiar names and familiar faces. I like the way he quickened last time. First time he's shown signs of life here in the Cape. He was a good horse in Joburg. Certainly looked like he was above the handicapper. His ratings come down another £2. So for me, that is the key for number 4, African Torrent. Can he quicken in time on the shorter run? That is my kicker with the chances of number 4, African Torrent. But I like enough of what I saw, and I think Marshall Field ran a bit below par just over a week ago, but I still think that he's a horse that we can be on the right side of. It is a weak field. There's not much really going on here otherwise. Number 7, Eternal Optimist is my horse to chase at home. From a middle draw, the daughter of Quirari tries 1,800 metres again after going to the front last time out. Maybe the winter course with getting first run could be key, but I think African Torrent is probably the one that I'll tip on top in race number 6. It's a race that you want to go quite wide in the pick 6. 9 Big Popper also could be lurking under the radar for Paddy Creyer and JP van der Merwe. He seems to have turned his form around of late and coming to these calm waters with just 55 kilos on his back. Number 9 Big Popper, another horse to look out for. Then on to race number 7, the listed Stormsplay Stakes, and they go 1,800 metres. Right, now, how much can we go back into the last feature, which of course was the listed Ladies Mile, which was won in very good style by number 11, Time for Love. But number 11 is the clue here. The draw is not ideal. Richard Ferre is more than ideal. He's 1 from 1 on this Daughter of Time Thief. And he got given £6 for winning last time. On that occasion, she beat My Flower Fate, who's got a bad habit of losing ground at the start, and she may have counted herself unlucky, certainly in the first winter feature, not to have won after those demons at the start. She beat Rainbow Lorikeet, who to the eye was the best finisher in the race in the Ladies Mile. Time for Love finished in front of Princess Izzy. Gold Poker Game, who's a very good horse, and Red Palace, who we know is a very good horse as well. So will all that form stand up? Is there any reason to doubt the form? Well, the only doubt that I have is the draw of number 11, Time for Love, and it is a valid doubt. She could easily win this race, she could show her class, and it looks like she could have a very fruitful summer ahead, especially with a handicapper just looking after her with a £6 raise on the back of her last win. But if she is undone by the deep draw, if things don't go according to plan, will those form horses turn the form around? I like what I saw from Rainbow Lorikeet last time, so to the eye, she makes some appeal. She, of course, won over this course and distance, well, on the summer course over this distance when winning the Cape Oaks on Splash Out Cape Derby Day, beating Summer Lily, who was disappointing here on Tuesday, but Rainbow Lorikeet is going in the right direction. Mornay Vinar takes the ride. That's because Aldo Dome at 56 kilos is a bit of a stretch. Wherever Rainbow Lorikeet is, Princess Izzy should be right there. My Flower Fate should be right there with Time for Love as well. 6 Gold Poker Game, who we know is of a very high quality, is another horse to respect. And number 7 Red Palace, if she puts it all together, she could win this by a furlong, but she hasn't put it all together since the summer. And then we've got number 4 Love is a Rose, a horse that I've got all the time in the world for. Corne Offer and Greg Enion team up, beating Alain Maurice last time in a middle stakes. Was a perfect tee up into this race. She was well weighted last time out, but definitely underdone with this race in mind, and she did the job in good style. And not forgetting that number 4 Love is a Rose won this final Fling Stakes in July last year, and she has done very, very well, earning black top throughout her career. So one to include into your quartets, no doubt. Number 4 on the card, Love is a Rose. In fact, more than just a quartet chance. Let's go on now to the Grade 3 Pocket Power Stakes. What a horse, what a legend. All those Grade 1s dead heating in the Hollywoodbets Durban, July 4, Lomaron Kings Plate 3, J&B Mets as it was known back then, now the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met. So, who's going to live up to that reputation this year? For Pakaya, got to be the horse they all need to beat. Won the Legal Eagle Stakes over 1,800 metres, the second of the features here last month. Richard Ferree on board for Justin Snaith, beating Rapidash on the same weight terms. Rapidash over 1,800 metres, although winning the Gold Rush and staying on nicely on the Gold Rush, probably will get the trip, but can he turn it around with Pakaya, who's equally as able of getting this trip? Remember that he won the World Sports Betting 1900 Hollywoodbets Gravel around a year ago, showing his class. He ran the Hollywoodbets Durban July, but he returned cut into, so all of those valid excuses. He can run poorly from time to time, but there have been reasons for those subpar runs along the way. If all is in the right place for number 4, Pakaya, I think that he will show his class. The 3-year-olds are interesting. Rapidash, the first pointer call, having run second to Pakaya in the Legal Eagle Stakes. Watch out for him. Be great to see him get into the number 1 box and confirming the form of the Gold Rush here on World Sports Betting Cape Town Met Day. And what a test this is for number 7 for Luapiki. What a turnaround with blinkers on. He looked like he was going absolutely nowhere, and then all of a sudden Eric Sands stuck the headgear on. Different horse altogether. Is this coming a little bit too soon? Is he up to this level? We shall see. A lot of question marks about number 7 for Luapiki. He is the complete unknown in the race. Let's now move on to race number 9, the Race Cape powered by Hollywoodbets Class 4. They go 1,600 metres. Lots in here with chances. The horse that makes some appeal to me, although not winning in a very, very long time, is a horse I expect to be near the bottom of the boards. That's number 3, My Bestie. Over 2 years since he last won, Robert Carty rides for Glenn Cotson, but the quality that he's run with is divisions better than anything else in this field. If he remembers who he was and his best runs, he can win this race. It's just a matter of whether he's in the right spirits and the right heart to put it all together. He is, of course, a half-brother to Dave the King, who won a Pinnacle Stakes at Hollywoodbets Scottsville about a week ago. My Bestie, obviously not the same level of Dave the King, but he's a lot better than this level, and he's come down to the tune of 20 points in the space of a year. I like his chances, number 3, My Bestie. Although he's not going to be foolproof, he's a horse that you've got to be on the right side of. Now, I'm going to recommend an each-way play. If he ran into the first 3 and returns whatever 3-rounder plays or something along those lines, you'll be very, very happy with your day's work. Dangers in the pick 6. 1 Night Ruler got to go in. 4 Fly Futura. 5 Double Olympic, who I think is popping to come back to form. He won his debut. He looked the goods, and he's definitely coming back to hand. Number 5 Double Olympic. A little bit more rain might help his chances. Number 6 Nevada King. 9 Radicio. 10 Master of Paris, and 11 All About Ronnie. All horses to include, but I'm so keen on an each-way chance here on number 3, My Bestie. I'll certainly be looking out for him in the race. And on we go to the 10th and last race at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on this Sunday. Hollywoodbets Bright Future Class 4. They go 1,200 metres. Race runs at 5 to 5, and this is only part of Jackpot 2, the final leg of Jackpot number 2. There are 2 horses that I'm keen on, but the first place I want to start is the 2-year-old, number 7, Surge of Power. It will be foolhardy to write off the son of Patala Palace's chances, especially if the US of A runs a nice race, earlier on in the day. Richard Ferree takes a ride for Greg Edian. I love the heart, love the courage. I love the way that he changed legs over the closing stages last time to get the job done over a stiff, the US of A. But can he do it again? Can he give weight away to some of the older horses? That is the big burning question. Don't leave him out. Don't ignore him. But he could do absolutely anything on the day. A win would definitely excite me going forward, but in fact, running midfield would certainly not be something that would make me write him off. I think he's a horse that might come into his own over further. Good old Sandown pedigree with some stayers in the family. So what am I going to focus on here? I'm going to focus on numbers 9 and 11, Night Tiger and Winter Pearl. When you go through collateral form, both of them have the beating of more than half the field. And I think there's going to be a bit of a price about number 11, Winter Pearl. JP van der Merwe takes a ride for Ricky Maingard. He's come back to form, has Winter Pearl. Off a 76, ran 3rd to Grant By last time out. That was about a month ago. And also, he's been sparingly raced of late. He might be better at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. He went through a good spell up at the country course, so that might be something to think of. But I refuse to believe in what I saw last time, that this was a horse without a chance. And like I said, all collateral form that he's got puts him in front of quite a lot of the runners here. Same comment applies for number 9, Night Tiger. Tiger. I think the Oliver form is something that you've got to pay a lot of attention to in this race, with quite a few horses coming out of the Oliver form line. Night Tiger finishing third, leading the way. He's got a lot of weight to carry, 61.5, but who better than Aldo De Meyer to take the ride for Candice Bass Robinson. Full Fullard and Drew, of course, owned the mother. Ray, who was trained by Stan Ellie and did so many good things on the South African race courses. Overdue a win, consistent horse, not one to ignore. So the last race on the day generally represents a good quartet pool. So I'm going to recommend a double floating quartet with numbers 9 and 11 by the field. Hopefully that all goes according to plan. On this 10-race card on this Sunday, looking forward to it all. Looking forward to saying hello to you all here on Sunday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Come and join us. Finish the week the right way. We'll chat to you soon. Goodbye.